Peace, family. What's going on? It's the Hoodmystic, representing www.hoodmystic.com. We're just gonna roll through this thing. I don't know how the reception is gonna be. It's been a minute since I went live. I don't know how this thing is gonna work out. So we're just gonna go through this as fast as we could, and be mindful that I am recording. So if it comes off a little choppy, if it's not the best quality, then I will upload the recording, so no worries on that. But good morning, grand rising. How's everybody doing today? I'm doing well. Looking forward to this message, looking forward to this week. Had an excellent weekend, very useful and mindful with my time and energy, and hopefully, well, most certainly, you know, the benefits are coming subsequently for that. I just want to talk about the astrology, but before I get into the astrology, I just want to invite the people to subscribe to this channel. Make sure you share this video. If you can't, sometimes people can't support the channel through Patreon, through PayPal, and things of that nature. Please share this video. www.hoodmystic.com is my website. Patreon.com/Hoodmystic is where you support this channel. PayPal.me/TheHoodMystic is where you could, you know, tip or anything that you want to do in that regards. And Hoodmystic38 is the Hoodmystic, obviously. So just want to deal with some house stuff, some astrology stuff, and keep this thing copacetic. Because what we've been dealing with throughout the weekend is the moon being in Pisces, and the moon kind of waiting in Pisces for a second. You know, this is all like exalted energy. When the moon is in Neptune or the moon is in Pisces, it's exalted. And now that it's conjunct Pisces, for the individual, for the experience as we move forward this week, what we want to really power through or really get the people to understand is that it's important to align with your clarity. Like really align with the clarity. And I've charged water, charged water under the full moon plenty of times. You know, we do a lot of our things, a lot of our work with setting things outside of the full moon. It really gives it a lot of power and energy. And really, when we talk about power and energy, we're really talking about clarity, like being clear. So many times you can have so much power and so much energy and not be clear on who you truly are. So like to esotericize this, the moon conjunct Pisces and Neptune, is you have to be so clear on yourself and where you're going. Like today will definitely set the tone for the rest of your week. That's why today I'm dressed a certain way. I'm presenting myself in the public a different way. You know, usually people are used to seeing me in gym shorts and t-shirts, but you know, today I'm putting people on notice that, you know, I'm not to be played with. I'm not, you know, I'm really setting a tone going forward to this week because I'm clear on who I am and what I should be doing this week. If you're not clear on who you are and what you should be doing, then this is the goal post full moon. It's a goal to be clear, because if you're not clear, what are you? Very clear. Like you could be married, you could be rich, you could be all of these things, but if you're not clear, then you're really not doing anything. You know, if you're dealing with mental confusion on a relationship or a child or anything of that nature, then it's not very conscious like, and we need to really strive for that clarity and not strive for these existential things that we use to value us. You know, you could align and find yourself clear with all sorts of things, but my suggestion would be to use nothing. This is how you get clear. Water, this is how you get clear. Meditation, this is how you get clear. You know, crystals are great. You understand what I'm saying? But we are trying to get out of the existential need for anything when it comes to spiritual alignment. I don't want people to feel like, oh, well, since I have no crystals, then I can't be clear. That's not the case. Everybody does not have crystals. Everybody does not have access to crystals. So when it's really time to get serious and you don't have shit, then that's good. You know, it's all about you and really finding a power within yourself. So the moon is in conjunct Mercury and Leo. And so that's fully understanding your thoughts. Very clear to understand your thoughts. When you have pain, when you have sadness, when you have fear, when you have all of these negative feelings that one may be experiencing, understand that those are not your thoughts. It's just like if I was to start to do a video and then a troller would just start to enter into my live and start spewing negative things. Now, I could feed into his negativity, or I can continue on with my notes that I've prepared, you know, my preparation for this video, or I could sit and start to answer that troll. And once I start to answer that troll, I begin to inherit his thoughts or her thoughts. So it's very important to be mindful of the negative things that are going on in your mind, because those negative things are not of yourself. I was very mindful of my thoughts yesterday, and a thought had entered, like, whoop. And I was like, okay, I need to cleanse this house, because that is not even the thought that I would have. You know, being that me and my wife are going this weekend and we had somebody sit over the house while we were going, right? So when we get back, you know, I felt my thinking was different, even though because we had spent time in the mounds. And so I had two levels of thought. I had this new level of thought. Then when I got in the home, it was a whole nother level of thought that was negative and just, I don't know what it was. It wasn't of me though. And I could have adopted that way of thinking, but I instantly thought to cleanse the area and cleanse my house, because I was like, it's some energy in here that's not positive. So I have to clear this energy out, as opposed to just, you know, thinking about whatever I had to do in life and not ignoring, you know, these negative thoughts. And so when we have negative thoughts, like, because we talked about Mercury and Leo in the second decan as it goes direct in its connectedness to Jupiter, and its connectedness to really understanding where we're going. So understand, Mercury and Leo is clear on where you're going. Now, you may have another level based upon you not being clear of energy coming over that's trying to derail you or distract you from where Mercury and Leo is like, well, okay, I'm the shit. I know where I'm going. I feel myself. I'm feeling good. But if you're not clear, you might feel it, but then it's something else that comes along, like, you know, you ain't gonna never be shit, or a troll, or a negative energy. And if you acquiesce to that negative energy, then that's your bad. That's your fault. That's your karma. So it's very important to not acquiesce to any negative energy and realize that negative energy is not of you. It is outside of you that is being projected into you, and now is forcing you or wanting you to acquiesce it, but you have the choice not to, okay? I'm explaining something, but let me explain it. And so the moon is trine Jupiter in Scorpio, and that is trusting the changes and really moving off of all of this clarity, moving forward from this clarity. Now, you have to really imagine yourself moving forward without clarity. Like, really take a step back, get out the esoterics, just think about it for a second. If I'm not clear on where I'm going and I just hop in my car and I just start driving, I'm just wasting gas. I've done that before. We all have done that before. We just got out in the car and rode, and we thought we was going to have some amazing experience, but at the end of the day, we just ran out gas and ended up back home with no more solutions than we had before we got in the car. It was very important that, okay, I know where I'm going, have my destination, and then I get in the car. Now I know where I'm going. I did all the preparation. Now I know where I'm going and I can get there. Just randomly getting in a car and driving, like, who does that? I mean, sometimes you get out of the car and ride, but literally, like, it's been 15 years since I've done that. I've did that when I was a child, just get out and ride around and shit. I don't do that shit no more. If I get in the car, I know where I'm going, I'm getting there, and then I'm bringing my ass back home. So it's very important to understand that you need to know where you're going. You need to know where you're coming back to, and not think of it as some just fly by night, you know, just whimsical thing that you need to do with this consciousness. A lot of people say, you know, I don't have to do nothing. I don't have to worry about anybody else. I'm just, you know, in this conscious shit to just be magical. And me, I'm just like on the level like, okay, I get that. But I guess I'm just very much different because I care about people, and I'm more or less trying to connect with different people. I'm not trying to just be, you know, the greatest person on YouTube spitting his consciousness. Like, I'm just really trying to connect with people and trying to instill some power into their lives. So we're dealing with what I just explained to you is a learning triangle, because so you can see the green line pointing up to the moon, the blue line pointing up to Jupiter, and then that square down to Mercury. That is a learning triangle, and we're trying to learn something. Something is teaching us something, and the lesson is clarity and the power of clarity. And if you don't learn this lesson, you will be dealing with whatever you choose to deal with. Because flanking this learning triangle is Uranus doing some squares. Uranus has a square to Mars. Uranus has a square to the node. And so we're dealing with a range or a realm where there is a lot of coincidences, but the reality is there is no such thing as a coincidence. So we're dealing with a specific alignment, whether you like it or not. We're dealing with the specific change, whether you like it or not. So you have to be really in tune and connected to self. And self is the only person who has the directions for your ass today. Not your mama, not your supervisor, not your boss, not your girlfriend, not your boyfriend, not your brothers, not your sisters, not your cousins, not your uncles, not your aunts, not your god sister, not your sister friend, not your sister wife. yourself is the only person who has some real advice for you today. So you have to be clear enough to receive it and not focused on what's going on on this terrestrial world. You have to be very, very clear, man. Clear, so clear that you don't see anything else besides yourself and your glory. And there's no terrestrial thing that you can accomplish that could even come close to your spiritual glory. Let's argue. Show me something that you could accomplish in this world that's gonna even come close to your spiritual lineage and your lifetime's worth of living that exists in this moment that you have full access to. You have full access to everything you possibly could be in the whole totality of the universe, beyond the universe. You have the ability to tap into everything you've ever were, all in this moment. But you do not get there without clarity. I hope that makes sense. Your best self, you cannot find it through confusion or stress. If you are stressed, if you are confused, if you are pissed off, if you are angry, then it's time to deal with that shit first. And don't worry about this consciousness. This consciousness shit ain't going nowhere. But if you really feeling hurt, it's time to take these 2 weeks and deal with this waning moon, because the waning moon is such a magnificent power. The waning moon presents itself to us every 2 weeks to say, give me all of your shit that you don't want. We're getting rid of it. And you know, how many times have we as human beings ran out the house when the trash man came through and just, you know, shook his hand and said, you know what, bro, thank you. I really appreciate you. Because if it wasn't for you, I'd be sitting around here in all of this filth and all of this trash. I really don't know what to do with this shit. Then you come around once a week and you get rid of this shit. Bro, thank you. Of course we never do that. And we never worry about the waning moon either. I do. I'm so thankful for the waning moon because I got rid of so much negative character defects and personality faults. I got rid of so much shit with the waning moon that I invite you all to take these next 2 weeks and get rid of shit. The trash man is here, but you trying to keep all that shit and good talk with all of that. Yeah, all of the beats and all of the music is me. This is just a creative expression that I try to do every day, holistically, and just be completely unique and completely true to myself and allow myself to guide me through life. That's the purpose of this channel. That's the purpose of this content. Art of the day. So we have some clear shit. Usually I take notes on the tarot. Sometimes tarot can be a little bit abstract, but we're not gonna be nowhere near abstract today. We're gonna be clear as a motherfucker. So we have the 5 of this, the Queen of this, and the Ace of Wands. The 5 of this represent worry. And worry represents a state of mind, a state of being representative to the Queen of this. If you look at the Queen of this and you look at the back of that card, the top back of that card, you're dealing with a level of a desert. So if you're in a desert and you have no water, you have no food, you have no sustenance, you have nowhere to go, you have no shelter, it's just you, sand, and the sun, I would be worried too, because a lot of us are in a fucking desert. And the reason why we're worried, the reason why we're stressed, the reason why we're confused, the reason why we're a little bit in a panic mode is because we're in a goddamn desert. You're supposed to feel that way. You're supposed to. You have to move out of negative situations. You have to get out of desert into more fertile lands. You have to understand that the human spirit is a spirit that has traveled, that has moved from place to place to place to place to place. There has never been a human civilization, population that has just stayed in one place forever. It just never happened. And even if you've been somewhere your whole life, that don't fucking matter. You still gonna have to move and leave it, because that's not even your place. And we can get into, you know, land and being on land for so long, it strips the minerals out. And so once you strip all of the minerals out of the land, what the are you doing there? You have to move and get to a different place. And this brings us to the Ace of Wands. The wands represent passion. That fire up under your ass to really want to do some shit. Ain't no passion with going to work every day. And even if you got a good job, even if you got good pay, yeah, it felt, what happened was the feeling that you had when you got the job is the feeling that you are now using to sustain you throughout this whole process of working. The feeling that you had when you first started the relationship is now the feeling that you have sustaining you throughout the whole relationship. It ain't the fact that there is some passion there. The passion is long gone. And since the passion is long gone and your ass still stayed, then you've created, and now you've sat in the desert, and now you are obviously worried. I would be fucking worried too if I was in the desert with no form of sustenance, no form of help, nothing to be found. And the only thing that I could do was get on my motherfucking 2 feet and start walking towards a fertile land. To develop or to find some type of passion or find some type of clarity, because wherever I'm at right now, it just ain't it. It just not hitting. It's just not happening. Okay. And so now I move to my next. So now I have this Ace of Wands, and now I got this fire up under my ass, and now I'm ready to go. And so that gives me to the Knight of This, and to the Priestess, and to the Eight of Wands. And I know how that, and I know exactly how that feels. You have everything in front of you, everything in your hands, but you don't know where the fuck you're going. You don't know. We don't know. We don't know what the future holds. None of us do. All we can really do is know that we can trust ourselves in any situation. A lot of us may be in whole different realms, in whole different places, and still be in this earth realm. The reality is that none of us know where any of us are. We just automatically assume everything is everything. But the reality is that within you, there are portals, there are gateways, there are dimensions that if you start to access them, you will get there so fast. It's like distance is so, like, it's some human shit. Time is some human shit. Space is some human shit. When we start to talk about alleviating all of that, we're talking about going within ourselves. And going within ourselves, tapping into this priestess energy, tapping into this goddess energy, it opens up the portal so fast. Your reality changes so fast. Your life changes so fast. And all of this is through clarity of the self. And I hope this message was in a conscious stream of thought and it made sense. Because it made sense to me, and I don't like when that it makes so much sense to me and I get so empowered, and then maybe the message doesn't come out as clear as I would like. So I hope that, you know, the family would give me criticism, will critique me, will help me to get this message more clear for them. If it's not clear, I understand when people want to, you know, compliment me. I understand that and I appreciate that, but I'm okay with people telling me what they don't like or the trouble that they have with the message, or, you know, help me become a better speaker, or help me become clearer to you or for you if that's possible, because I'm open to that. And the reason why I'm here today is because I've listened to people and I've taken other people's advice. Now, I don't just take everybody's advice and just do everything that everybody wants me to do, but if it resonates with me, it's always something that I've never heard before, or something that I've never felt, and I'm always appreciative, like, thank you, because I was unaware that my ass was showing. Like, thank you. Or I was unaware I had boogers coming out my nose and shit like that. So it's very important that we begin to tell each other the real, and then give that person a choice to, you know, say, oh, I accept